Political Avengers assemble. Why UK's devolved nations just gave Starmer the headache of his life. Right. So, when was the last time you saw politicians from Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales actually agree on something? I'll wait. Still thinking? Well, buckle up, buttercups, because today they've done the impossible. They've united against Keir Starmer faster than you can say coalition of chaos. And spoiler alert, it's not about the weather. Welcome back to UK Plug, where we break down the political drama so you don't have to suffer through question time just to understand what's actually happening. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a letter that's gotten more signatures and petition to bring back Greg's festive bake year-round. But this one's slightly more serious. It's about Gaza sanctions, and why Starmer's inbox just got very, very heavy. Michelle O'Neill, Naomi Long, Claire Hanna, and Stephen Flynn walk into Westminster. No, this isn't the start of a terrible political joke, though, knowing Westminster, it might as well be. We're talking about a proper political Avengers Assemble moment here, folks. Northern Ireland's First Minister Michelle O'Neill has teamed up with Alliance Party leader Naomi Long, SDLP's Claire Hanna, the SNP's Stephen Flynn, and basically everyone except your local Tory MP, who's probably too busy defending their latest U-turn. The guest list reads like a who's who of politicians who actually give a toss. We've got Scottish Greens Lorna Slater, the Lib Dems Alistair Carmichael. Yes, they still exist. Plaid Cymru's dynamic duo Run API Allworth and Liz Saville-Roberts, plus people before profits Jerry Carroll. It's like political speed dating. Except instead of awkward small talk about hobbies, they are bonding over their shared frustration with Starmer's approach to international crisis management. And honestly, fair play to them. But here's where it gets spicy, because this isn't just your standard we disagree parliamentary letter. This is a full-blown recall Parliament right bloody now demand. The letter basically says, "K mate, Gaza's on fire, people are dying, and you're sitting there like a deer caught in headlights." Except, of course, they said it much more diplomatically. These are politicians, not Twitter users. They want immediate sanctions on Israel. Not next week. Not after another committee meeting. Not after Starmer's finishes morning cornflakes. Now, they are calling the situation in Gaza a man-made and avoidable humanitarian catastrophe, which is political speak for, this is absolutely mental and someone needs to do something. The letter doesn't mince words. Either we're talking about relentless bombardment, deliberate starvation, and what UN experts are calling a man-made famine. It's like a horror film, except it's real life and there's no popcorn to make it bearable. They want arms sales to Israel stopped immediately, because apparently selling weapons to countries actively bombing civilians is still somehow controversial in 2024. Who would have thought? Plus, they're demanding independent investigations into alleged war crimes, because nothing says we're taking this seriously like actual investigating whether international law is being casually tossed out the window. Now, here's where Keir Starmer finds himself in what we like to call a proper pickle, and not the good kind you have with cheese. Starmer's been playing diplomatic twister for months now, trying to balance Labour's traditional support for Palestinian rights with not completely alienating every Jewish voter in the country. It's like trying to juggle flaming torches while riding a unicycle. Impressive if you can pull it off, catastrophic if you can't. He's already said the UK might recognize a Palestinian state in September unless Israel meets certain conditions, which sounds great on paper, but in practice is about as effective as threatening to take away someone's pudding after they've already eaten the main course. The politicians signing this letter are basically saying, "Kay, your conditions-based approach is lovely and all, but people are literally dying while you're playing diplomatic chess." And they've got a point. International crisis management isn't really the time for wait-and-see politics. Claire Hanna from the SDLP put it brilliantly. The people of Gaza don't have the luxury of waiting any longer, which is political speak for get your act together, Prime Minister, because this is getting ridiculous. But here's the kicker. This letter isn't just about Gaza. It's about something much bigger brewing in UK politics. This cross-party, cross-nation alliance shows something fascinating. When Westminster fails to lead, devolved nations step up. It's like watching the political equivalent of the kids taking charge because the adults have gone AWOL. We're seeing politicians from 3 different nations, with completely different domestic priorities, unite on international policy. That doesn't happen every day, folks. Usually, They can barely agree on what constitutes a proper breakfast, let alone complex foreign policy. The letter talks about the UK's moral standing being measured by its response. Translation: the world is watching, and right now we look about as decisive as a British weather forecast. This could mark a shift in how devolved governments approach international issues. If Westminster won't lead, maybe Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Belfast will force a hand. It's democracy in action, just not the way anyone expected it to wake. So, there you have it, a united front demanding action, a prime minister caught between diplomatic protocol and moral urgency, and a letter that's basically political dynamite wrapped in parliamentary procedure. Will Starmer recall Parliament? Will he impose sanctions? Or will he continue trying to thread the diplomatic needle while politicians across the UK lose patience? One thing certain, this story isn't going away, and neither is the pressure on Number 10. What do you think? Should Starmer act on these demands, or is diplomatic caution the right approach? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I promise I'll read them, unlike certain prime ministers who apparently don't read their mail. If you enjoyed this breakdown of political drama, smash that like button, subscribe for more UK political chaos analysis, and ring that notification bell. Because trust me, with this government, there's always more drama coming. I'm UK Plug, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay informed, stay skeptical, and for the love of all that holy, stay caffeinated. You're going to need it to keep up with this.